Alright, all you streetlight crusaders, and I guess a couple of you wrestling video game fans who are still working the sticks tonight, trying to beat that opponent you couldn't beat before, welcome back to the 6-year Nite special! And according to the maestro with the giddy and exciting look on my face, we've saved the best part for last for this show for this year. Because now it's time for us to give you guys that third part of a conclusional match that we've been saving for well over 3 weeks now, which adds up to 6 in any ball game you play, for a very special 6-year anniversary edition of Cue the Host Maestro! Wait, better yet, since it's the 6-year anniversary of the show, cue the special Horns Maestro! DJ Smokey's Great Moments in Wrestling History! And if you're wondering at home, yeah, that was the choir in those horns. And if you ever had one of those moments where you have goosebumps running down your arm and the hair on the back of your neck is going, that's one of those moments right now. And not to mention, the maestro kind enough to fix the sign for me to point, and it is glowing brighter than ever, especially for the 6-year anniversary, which makes this moment all the sweeter. It really does. But besides that, folks, this great moment in wrestling history comes from the video game WWE 14. And this great moment in wrestling history took place approximately 12 hours ago when I made it to the main event of Wrestlemania, which in the universe I had was the 31st annual Wrestlemania that took place in Hollywood, California. So to celebrate that monumentous occasion, we decided to not only have it in the same arena they had Wrestlemania 21 in, but also had the legendary Hall of Famer himself, Howard Finkel, announcing each and every last match to the greatest way he possibly could. And the main event of the evening and the focal point of this story, folks, was none other than Holly Summers going one-on-one against Misty Williams. And the only reason this match is taking place because several weeks ago, like we've mentioned in part 1 of this great moment in wrestling history, Misty Williams hit Holly Summers in the back of the head with a lead pipe, leading to a back and forth war between these two to the point where it left me no choice but to separate them from the shows they were on for now to prepare for a main event match that is worthy for the main event of Wrestlemania. So with my hands tied in a volatile situation ready to burst at any moment, I decided for the Undisputed Women's Championship to be defended in a match that was only booked once in the history of the Tri-State Wrestling Federation, in the form of a match known as the Queen of Extreme Rules match, which was a match that was so brutal, so barbaric, and so violent. Like we said before, we could only do it once, and this match, the rules of it was, there were no rules. The only way you could win this match is by pinfall, submission, or knocking your opponent out senseless with any object you can find from underneath the ring. And my God, during this match, the second the bell ringed, or rang, whatever term you would use for it, folks, her bell would get rung in the form of Misty Williams getting hit with a spinning wheel kick right across the head, and the match would be off to the races since then. Both of them would try to hit each other with hurricanranas, DDTs, and anything else to try to cause permanent brain damage during this match, including Misty Williams pulling off a beautiful European uppercut right under the jaw, almost knocking out Holly Summers during the said contest, but would gain the upper hand once the match hit the ring floor, because then you would see Misty Williams pulling off a front drop kick, avoiding a Holly grab, which was a modified version of the Styles Clash, for Holly Summers to go crashing right through the table, and for Misty Williams to hit her in the face with a bull hammer to get the first fall in this match. And oh, did we almost forget to mention that this match was an Iron Man match? Well, it was. And with 60 seconds on the clock and back and forth, this action went all the way until it hit the 45-minute mark, which saw Misty Williams in firm control of this match, not only hitting Holly Summers in the head with kendo sticks, ladders, chairs, stairs, and even a baseball bat to try to finish the job she started almost 5 weeks ago, causing her to be in a commanding lead with 4 pinfalls ahead of her opponent, only for Holly Summers to come back to hit her with a Holly Driver, which is a modified burning hammer and almost a psycho driver of sorts, and then would be so kind to send Misty Williams to the Regalplex by doing a Regalplex during this match with a pinning combination that would still lead to a near fall. And both of these women would hit each other with their most dangerous moves that were hardly seen on regular television, with Holly Summers actually pulling out the Billy Goat's curse during this match, and even would be able to pull off a beautiful Tiger suplex during this match that still was for only a near fall. And Misty Williams would also break out another modified move that she hasn't done in a while in the form of the Regal Stretch, dedicated to her teacher that she actually learned that move from, that she would use to try to take the championship away from Holly Summers. And as time began to get closer and closer to endgame, you would see Holly Summers pulling off a dragon suplex directly on a pair of steel steps, knocking out Misty Williams cold, giving her the lead during this match, and then would put on more pressure as the time would tick down to 5 minutes, with $1 million dream on the outside of the ring, almost heading up the ramp for Wrestlemania for Misty Williams to tap out. Then she would go a step further and pick up the baseball bat and get a revenge from earlier in the match by hitting Misty Williams in the back of the head 4 times with a baseball bat to command her lead by 3. And with less than 3 minutes to go, Misty Williams, frustrated, angry, and disappointed with the fact that she thought she was going to lose this match, would throw stairs, chairs, ladders, and everything else she possibly could in the ring, and proceeded to hit and beat the living hell out of one Holly Summers until she had only 1 pinfall left to get in less than 1 minute. But Holly Summers, with victory in hand, said that there was no way she was going to come back from this. And with the last 10 seconds left in this match, Holly Summers, who saw Misty Williams running at her with her elbow pad off to deliver one last bullhammer to tie things up, would then decide to go and hit her with a sling blade, saying, "No ties today, buddy," and hit her with the sling blade directly on the steel steps, causing her to grab the back of her neck in pain, for the bell to sound, and for Holly Summers once again on a grand stage to retain the Undisputed Women's Championship via timeout and from knockout because of that one sling blade on those stairs. And after the match was over, you would hear Howard Finkel sing proudly, "And your winner of the match, and still Undisputed Tri-State Wrestling Federation Women's Champion, Holly Sunshine." Because I couldn't name her Holly Summers for the ring announcing, so it had to be Holly Sunshine, and trust me, it was truly a bright and beautiful moment under those Hollywood lights to wrap up the main event of WrestleMania, with the champion still retaining the championship and getting a revenge against the girl who decided to try to take her out permanently with a lead pipe 5 weeks ago. But the action would not be over for Holly Summers, because still lurking in the background from earlier in the night, Ruin, who would win the Money in the Bank ladder match, would be waiting in the shadows, ready at any moment to cash in that briefcase on an unsuspecting Holly Summers, which I thought she would have done during the main event, but she didn't. Probably out of respect, and most likely out of the fact that she thought she was gonna get put through a table next with all the violence that happened during this match. And with that said, folks, wraps it up for a 3-part conclusion main event for this show and for Wrestlemania edition of the DJ Smokies. Great moments in wrestling history. And with that, folks, we might as well head back into this music one more time, and when we return, we'll be back with the final segment for this 6-year anniversary of the Tuesday night special right after this. So don't fall asleep just yet, folks, and stay tuned.